Alrighty team, welcome back to our common mistakes series, stuff that we're seeing in the gym that we don't want to. So today guys, we are going to be going through the bent over row. Now, seemingly very easy exercise, however, we do see it butchered quite often. So what we're going to do first is show you some bad reps. What we're going to then do is show you some good reps. Now, with this guys, you can notice that we are using a dumbbell. This also applies when using a barbell, when using two dumbbells, but you'll see we're just going to be using the one today, make it a little bit easier to explain. So first bad rep or thing that we commonly see when setting up for the bent over row. Not only we see a rounded spine or just looking very sloppy, sometimes we can see a almost hyper extension as well. So it's really trying to push that chest too far forward. But the worst thing, so like that, so it's a little bit too much. We want to create that nice neutral spine when going through our bent over row, guys. From here, what we commonly see is when they pick up the dumbbell, when the member or client picks up a dumbbell, they start to row up towards their shoulder. Now, what happens is we're not creating the correct bar path. You will then start to shrug. So Troy's upper trap here is really starting to fire and he's rowing that dumbbell up towards the shoulder. It is not a great time. When we are doing our rows, where we're trying to feel it is our mid-trap rhomboid. You will get a little bit of low, you might get a tiny bit of upper, that's okay. It all depends on our angle. However, for the point of this, we want to be focusing on that mid-trap rhomboid, little bit of lat as a stabilizer. So the cue we like to give is when rowing up is first of all, once we've picked up the dumbbell, we set the shoulder down and in. So we're nice and set. From here, we row towards the hip. So you'll see this bar path now, or hand path, has completely changed. Instead of Troy pulling up towards the shoulder, he's now pulling towards his hip. Or if you're unsure of the hip, we would go seam of shorts or tights if you're wearing normal ones, not the high waist. Now, as Troy's rowing up, he's getting a lot more feedback. He's starting to feel through the middle part of his trap and his rhomboid, so very close to the center of the spine, and then down towards a little bit of lat. I can see it firing, so it's good, it's doing its job, it's stabilizing. Now, when doing this, guys, we should feel no pain, no sensation really in upper or up in the neck, which you may find you are feeling when performing some of those bad reps. So give this a go for us, guys. Try and pull that dumbbell towards the hip. The last thing I'll say is remember, pulling towards the hip is not pulling to the hip. So if you are getting that contraction and you are using a heavier weight, don't feel you have to pull all the way up to the hip, because what can happen is if we start to go too far, again, we get that internal rotation of the shoulder, and that's what we want to avoid. We are really going for the feeling through our back. Once we feel that squeeze, then we can release, continue the reps. So give that a go for us, guys. Let's see some nice clean reps in the gym.